I'll now invite the Honourable Minister of Finance and Municipal Affairs.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, members of the Legislative Assembly, it is an honour to table the 2014-2015 operating budget in this, the 150th year since the Charlottetown Conference, which led to the creation of our great nation. Budget 2014 will continue to follow a plan that aims at improving the lives of Islanders while living within our financial means. We are able to achieve this by meeting our targets and continuing to work toward balancing the budget while protecting important investments made since 2007. In the fall of 2013, we reiterated our commitment to making health care more focused on patient needs, placing our students at the centre of our education system, and giving businesses easier and more direct access to government programs. In the Budget 2014, new investments will be made in health care aimed at ensuring Islanders continue to have improved access to services when they are needed and where they are needed. These new measures will focus on making services more affordable and responsive for Islanders. Madam Speaker, in 2012, we introduced the Social Action Plan to improve the lives of our most vulnerable citizens. Budget 2014 will include funding to further support the plan. Our budget will also provide funding to improve supports for student achievement and professional learning for our dedicated teachers. Further investments are also required to support our primary industries, expand trade, and improve the strength of our economy by setting conditions for the private sector to flourish. Madam Speaker, 2014 promises to be a great year in our province. We will celebrate that very important meeting of the Fathers of Confederation 150 years ago, which paved the way to the creation of our nation. Festivities began on New Year's Eve and have gathered momentum over the past 3 months, with celebrations in communities across the island, including the hosting of the O'Brien National Harness Racing Awards and the East Coast Music Awards. We are also looking forward to the visit of their Royal Highnesses, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall, as well as the annual meeting of Canadian Premiers, where the state of the Canadian Federation will be discussed. Our province will also play host to over 25 federal, provincial, and territorial meetings. We will also see the tall ships sail in for a visit, and celebrities such as Shania Twain, who will join us for a Founders Week concert, one of only 2 of her performances in Canada this year. In addition to this, world-class entertainment will be on display at the Canada Day concerts and the Cavendish Beach Music Festival. Over the past 18 months, communities from all corners of the province have been able to participate in the PEI 2014 Fund. Community groups are taking the opportunity to celebrate our heritage across the island with projects of historical significance. Over 160 projects will give communities the ability to showcase local arts and culture, enhance streetscapes, and enable dialogue about our past and our future. Madam Speaker, the opening of the expanded Prince Edward Island Convention Centre last year has enabled many organizations to draw new and larger conventions to our province in time to celebrate 2014. With meetings PEI projecting 24,000 delegates in 2014 compared to 12,000 last year, we are already seeing the economic benefits of this facility. The Prince Edward Island economy is continuing to recover from the effects of the economic downturn. We are starting to see some positive indicators both here at home and in other jurisdictions. Employment averaged 74,100 people in 2013, an increase of 1.8% from 2012, a new all-time high. Manufacturing shipments from PEI increased 9.8% in 2013, while international exports have increased 6.3%. Total capital spending totaled over $1 billion in 2013, an increase of 7.1%, due to increases in both construction activity and machinery acquisitions. And the total value of retail sales increased 1.3% in 2013. Madam Speaker, PEI continues to advance toward the economic goals of reaching an employment level of 75,000 people. and raising the value of the economy to $6 billion by 2016. The Conference Board of Canada estimates that these goals will be achieved. Key to this performance is the government's record on job creation and Islanders consistently having one of the highest labour force participation rates among the provinces, third only to the resource-rich economies of Alberta and Saskatchewan. The island economy expanded by an estimated 1.5% in 2013 and is expected to expand at a similar pace in 2014. Growth will be supported by continued strength in the manufacturing and export sectors, which will benefit from the lower value of the Canadian dollar and increased demand from both the United States and abroad. The tourism industry will also support growth in 2014 as a result of the expanded tourism offering due to the 150th anniversary of the Charlottetown Conference celebrations. Madam Speaker, beginning in 2012, we instituted a 3-year planning process. I am pleased that we remain on track to meet our targets. We have improved on the budget target of $58.9 million deficit for 2013-2014, with a forecast deficit of $51.9. Our plan will further reduce the deficit to $39.7 million for the next fiscal year. The path to a balanced budget requires a firm commitment to responsible management of our financial resources. In the next year, we are projecting revenues to increase by 3.3% over last year's budget, while total expenditures will increase by 2%. Departments continue to hold expenditures at current levels, while Health PEI is projecting moderate growth to meet the evolving needs of our patients. Madam Speaker, we could get to a balanced budget more quickly, but not without compromising the programs and services, especially in healthcare and education, that are necessary to the well-being of Islanders. During pre-budget consultations, Islanders made it clear that reducing services should not be an option to balance the budget. Madam Speaker, it was very apparent that the long-term sustainability of the public sector pension plans was becoming a concern. To address this, a priority of government over the past year was to put the pension plans on a sound financial platform. After discussions with both current employees and retirees, a number of reforms will be phased in to ensure pensions are secure for the future and at the same time remain affordable for both employees and taxpayers. We will also continue to participate in the push to strengthen the Canada Pension Plan to ensure more Canadians have sufficient income when they retire. Madam Speaker, our government remains committed to improving the delivery of healthcare services to Islanders. As we continue to provide Islanders with better access to services, we will also remove some of the financial barriers to certain services because we understand that Islanders shouldn't be put in a position where they need to choose between necessities like groceries and medical costs. Investments in mental health and addictions are also needed to ensure Islanders have better access to the healthcare resources they require. During the past year, our government appointed a new Provincial Chief Mental Health and Addictions Officer. Her first task will be to develop a long-term strategy to transform the way mental health services are delivered in our province. To further support this initiative, we have allocated an additional $1.2 million to address concerns related to drug abuse. Parents play an important role in the mental health of our children, and they need to be involved and engaged in creating and implementing solutions. That is why we are launching the Triple P program. Triple P stands for Positive Parenting Program and was developed at the University of Queensland in Australia. After years of rigorous research, it is a system that is easy to implement by providing proven parenting solutions to help solve current parenting problems and prevent future struggles. 4 departments will be involved in the delivery of this program. Madam Speaker, we continue to make investments in programs and services for persons with diabetes, including funding for test strips and improved dialysis access. We also know the role that insulin pumps can play in improving quality of life, particularly for children. That is why our government is moving forward with a program to help cover the cost of insulin pumps and related supplies for children with type 1 diabetes. This budget allocates approximately $400,000 for the purchase of insulin pumps and supplies to ensure that families with children who need help receive it. Madam Speaker, good eyesight is critical to learning. Children who cannot properly see the words in their books or on their screens or follow along with what is written on the board may struggle to reach their potential. To ensure children get the best start in their education, a new I Learn program will be jointly launched by the Department of Health and Wellness and the Prince Edward Island Association of Optometrists. In the fall of 2014, eligible kindergarten children will receive a free eye exam, and if they require glasses, they will receive them free of charge through a private sector sponsor. Madam Speaker, a reality is that as a small province, it is not possible to provide every healthcare service on this island. We are fortunate to have been able to create partnerships with our other maritime provinces to treat island patients and ensure the level of care they receive off-island is excellent. We recognize that the associated travel costs can present a financial burden to some island families. So the Department of Health and Wellness has developed a partnership with Maritime Bus, whereby patients in need receive support for their off-island transportation costs. Based on income testing, patients will receive financial assistance for bus transportation to their healthcare destination. Further, Maritime Bus will provide discounts to family members and special prices for accommodations. Depending on the injury or illness, the best place for patients to recover can be in their own home. However, that may require special medical equipment such as a wheelchair, hospital bed, walker, or bath seat. For some islanders, not having access to this equipment means a longer stay in hospital. To help islanders return home from hospital earlier, government will be partnering with the Red Cross to offer a health equipment loan program. This program will allow islanders to recover independently in the comfort of their own home. Madam Speaker, the catastrophic drug program was introduced last fall to ensure islanders have affordable drug coverage. Islanders can now apply to have their high-cost drugs covered by the program to ensure they have access to the medications they require. Together with the high-cost drug program, over $8 million will be provided to islanders needing these expensive prescription medications. The best way to prevent getting the flu is by getting a flu shot. Yet most islanders will choose not to receive the annual vaccine. To make it more convenient for islanders to get the flu shot and to enable pharmacists to enhance their scope of practice, the Department of Health and Wellness will be changing regulations so that pharmacists can directly deliver the flu vaccine. Enabling pharmacists to deliver flu vaccines not only helps keep islanders healthy, it is also a wise use of health resources. The renovations to the QEH Day Surgery Department will be completed later this spring and will help reduce wait times and provide better services to islanders. This budget will allocate new spending of $775,000 to provide operational support for the department. The expansion will increase the number of day surgery spaces from 10 to 18, as well as provide a separate ophthalmology suite. Madam Speaker, we recognize the need to improve health care services for children with complex medical needs and have recently provided for a physiotherapist and a provincial coordinator to create efficiencies and enhance support for families of this patient population. We will soon be ready to announce additional new initiatives to support island children with complex medical needs. The new standalone palliative care centre will open in the fall. This facility will improve the quality of life for patients in a comfortable environment. The centre will include a day program, respite services, an outpatient clinic, and expansion of the number of beds provided from 8 to 10. Madam Speaker, our government is committed to providing seniors with the most appropriate care in the most appropriate setting. In the past year, we added 17 new long-term care beds in Prince County, and are in the process of adding a further 45 beds in Queens County. These new beds were in addition to the 6 long-term care beds added to Stewart Memorial until a new 24-bed facility is constructed in Tyne Valley. We are pleased to say that planning for the construction of this new facility will begin later this spring. Madam Speaker, the province is committed to helping island students thrive, achieve, and succeed. Since 2007, investments in education and early childhood development have increased by 36% to $231 million, while maintaining a student-to-educator ratio among the lowest in Canada. Madam Speaker, starting with students in grade 9, we will be introducing initiatives to help with career development as they prepare to transition to post-secondary education or enter the workforce. The Student Graduation and Transition Planner Curriculum resource will enable high school graduates to leave the public school system with a personal life and career plan, the graduation requirements to access post-secondary programs that meet career goals, a personal financial plan to support these goals, and identified support networks and resources for the future. This work is being done in partnership with the Department of Innovation and Advanced Learning, post-secondary institutions, and the school boards. In the next year, we will continue to invest in improvements to the education system by implementing a series of initiatives to support student achievement. These initiatives will provide additional resources to ensure the school board's highly qualified teachers receive the support they need to improve learning for our children. While working towards student achievement, we also recognize the ever-evolving role of our dedicated teachers. To enhance professional learning, 3 new job-embedded professional learning days for teachers have been added, while maintaining the number of instructional days in the new calendar. We have invested in an instructional development website for educators to house curriculum videos and provide a repository for resources and research-based educational briefs. When implementing new curriculum in language arts and mathematics, a model will be utilized which supplements traditional face-to-face learning with curriculum videos. As a result of the Preschool Excellence Initiative, government developed a system of early years centres to ensure consistent, high-quality education, and services are provided for our youngest islanders. In the next year, support of approximately $8 million will be provided to the early years centres. Further, to maintain access and choice in the area of early learning and child care education, government will continue to provide funding for private child care programs during the coming fiscal year. Madam Speaker, the province's first social action plan was released in May 2012. We remain committed to ensuring that all islanders get the support they need to succeed in today's society. To this end, we are taking the following actions to continue to implement the social action plan. We are continuing to make improvements to the social assistance program in the areas of shelter and food benefits. Shelter rates were increased by 3% in November 2013, and social assistance food rates for singles were increased by 5% in January 2014. A 5-year plan to increase food rates for all clients will be implemented beginning in the next year. 20 new rent supplements for families and persons with disabilities were created in the last year, and another 20 will be implemented in the next year. In addition, more funding was allocated for families who are providing care in their homes for adults with disabilities. Funding will also be increased for community organizations to provide additional residential placements. Madam Speaker, we recognize that children reach their full potential in life when they are raised in a caring, nurturing, safe home environment where they are loved and their basic needs are met. To improve assistance for children in care, we increased room and board and clothing allowances by 5% in 2013 and will provide a further increase of 2% next year. We will also continue to provide assistance of $1.2 million to support the home renovation program. In addition, we will implement a new home care renovation program and increase the grant amount to $2,000 for qualifying applicants through the Seniors Home Repair Program. Madam Speaker, we realize that more needs to be done to support and enhance the quality of life for those islanders served by the Department of Community Services and Seniors. By moving forward on the implementation of the Social Action Plan, we are improving the environment to ensure every individual has the opportunity to achieve their full potential. Madam Speaker, we continue to support the growth and development of agriculture, which is the #1 industry on Prince Edward Island. With prices for many commodities improving, the outlook for the agriculture sector is, in general, very positive. Initiatives in support of the industry include contributions of over $10 million through the Production Insurance, Agri-Stability, Agri-Invest programs to assist farmers in mitigating production and financial risk. To help farmers manage and protect the natural environment, the Department continues to provide stewardship programming such as conservation planning, installation of engineered structures, and nutrient management. Protecting and enhancing our natural assets is a priority for farmers and government to reinforce the value of the PEI brand. Madam Speaker, this year we will be introducing a new forest investment program to help woodlot owners get involved in forest management. This small loans program will allow landowners to finance their contributions to forest management over a reasonable period of time. Coupled with incentives available through the Forest Enhancement Program, it will enable more landowners to improve the health and diversity of their forests. Madam Speaker, the global demand for seafood is expanding, and Prince Edward Island is in an excellent position to take advantage of the opportunity. Landings in the lobster sector have been increasing in recent years, and 2 major studies have been supported. The independent review of the Prince Edward Island lobster industry and the Maritime Lobster Panel contain recommendations that will help the industry maximize the value obtained from the lobster resource. We are already moving on a number of recommendations in the lobster reports, with new investments in quality handling training, increasing live holding capacity, and supporting market development and product innovation. The aquaculture industry provides more than 1,500 year-round jobs in our rural communities. Government will continue to assist the aquaculture sector to expand production and develop new markets all over the world. PEI mussels and oysters, including our historic Malpec brand, have gained international recognition. We will continue to offer programming support in aquaculture to develop new technologies, expand the sector, and support research, promotion, and innovative ideas. The quality of Prince Edward Island seafood products needs to be communicated to key markets in Canada, the United States, Europe, and Asia. We will work closely with our processors, fishers, and aquaculturists to promote our seafood in these markets. Madam Speaker, the protection and enhancement of the environment remains a top priority of this government. Understanding that watershed management groups play an important role in protecting the environment, we will be establishing a model watershed project. This project will go through an intensive process to select a watershed nominated by the community to receive a focused effort to implement a community-driven plan. The expectation would be that the process could then be used across the province. As a result of the report from the Bonshaw Hills Public Lands Committee, we will be establishing the province's first wilderness park, which will provide educational and recreational opportunities for islanders. To further stimulate interest, we will be conducting a park naming contest with participation from school-aged children. Madam Speaker, the turbines are now spinning at the Hermanville Clear Spring Wind Development Project. The project was recently completed, and when added to our existing wind capacity, Prince Edward Island is now generating more than 30% of its electricity requirements from this clean, renewable resource. The project provided significant benefits to the local economy during construction and will contribute $350,000 per year toward landowner payments and a community trust fund. Our government continues to pursue opportunities to utilize biomass heat to reduce the environmental impact of heating public buildings. In the past year, 13 schools, manors, hospitals, and correctional facilities were converted to biomass heat, and we continue to explore further opportunities. This year, we'll also see the completion of the Confederation Trail on Prince Edward Island, made possible with a very generous donation of $1 million from the W. Garfield Weston Foundation, and an additional $400,000 from the Trans-Canada Trail, ensuring this important resource is available to provide recreational opportunities for generations to come. Madam Speaker, over the past year, we have been extremely successful in supporting business expansion, especially in rural Prince Edward Island. McDougall Steel recently announced a $4.5 million expansion in Borden, creating 40 new jobs exporting structural steel. Aspen Kent will create up to 25 new jobs with the relocation of their head office to the Montague waterfront, in addition to their continuing expansion at Pools Corner. Jasper Wyman & Son will create an additional 25 full-time jobs and 70 seasonal jobs in Morel by significantly increasing blueberry processing capacity in Prince Edward Island. iOS Solutions in Bloomfield has grown to employ over 150 people, and TUC Managed IT Solutions in Summerside plans to add up to 32 new IT health professionals. We will continue to build on our successes by offering creative and flexible solutions to develop business through grants, loans, location assistance, and labor and training supports. Finance PEI has further enhanced their assistance to expand small business by increasing the maximum loan available under the Entrepreneur Loan Program from $50,000 to $100,000. Madam Speaker, we continue to support IT companies through labour rebates and other measures. To build on the successes of local PEI-based information technology companies, we will encourage additional business startup and incubation in the information technology sector through a dedicated program that provides office space, mentoring, and business counseling support. The aerospace industry has grown to employ over 900 people, with annual exports of $380 million. We continue to support PEI-based aerospace companies by participating in dedicated trade missions to develop new markets, both internationally and more recently in Western Canada. We also research and implement specific trade and sales initiatives to maximize results for PEI-based companies. As with any growing industry, access to labour can be a challenge. Therefore, we have initiated a partnership with aerospace companies, Holland College, and Skills PEI to deliver aerospace courses, ensuring skilled workers are available for this important industry. Across Canada, universities and colleges are faced with declining domestic student enrollment in post-secondary education. Therefore, institutions are increasing their efforts to attract international students who enrich the campus, offset declining domestic numbers, and support our local economy. We are in the process of developing a recruitment and retention strategy to assist our post-secondary institutions to attract international students. Madam Speaker, red tape negatively impacts island residents and businesses with unnecessary regulatory requirements. To address red tape, we will be initiating sector roundtables to identify government regulations and processes which are barriers to success. Sector experts will identify issues to be corrected in the short term, and we will take the necessary actions to rectify them. For more complex issues, we will work with the roundtable experts to identify long-term solutions to eliminate the regulatory burden. As well, each government department will be tasked with identifying processes that will eliminate red tape. Staff resources will be assigned to assist departments in performing internal reviews, identifying streamlining measures, and implementing change. Madam Speaker, since 2008, our government's investment in the Island Community Fund has resulted in more than 100 communities receiving financial support to carry out infrastructure projects in the area of fire and safety, recreation, playgrounds, upgrades to community facilities, and expansion of community-based tourism infrastructure. Recognizing the value of the program and our commitment to supporting island communities, the Island Community Fund has been extended to 2014-15 with a budget of approximately $2.3 million. Next year, we will see the completion of some prominent projects such as the Red Cross Operations Centre, Destination Village Musical in Evangeline, and a new gateway at the entrance to Surrey. Madam Speaker, we are continuing to implement our plan to achieve a balanced budget by 2016. The elements of our plan are to grow revenues faster than expenditures. In the next year, revenues will grow by 3.3%, while expenditure increases are held to 2%. In the 2015-16 year, we expect revenues to grow by 3.5%, while expenditures will be grown by 1%. The fundamentals of this plan are departments maintaining spending at current levels, health expenditures have moderate increases, and pension expenditures are put on a solid footing. I am pleased, Madam Speaker, that all of the fundamentals of our plan continue to be achieved and targets are being met. In the next fiscal year, we will incur a deficit of $39.7 million with a small surplus in 2015-16. Madam Speaker, the global economy continues to present challenges for our jurisdiction. The slow recovery has made it difficult to grow revenues at the normal rate. This has resulted in difficult decisions to ensure we proceed to a balanced budget. Pension reforms were implemented. The harmonized sales tax was introduced. Government expenditures have been restrained, and operations were made more efficient. These initiatives were not always popular, but were necessary to ensure the province operates in a fiscally responsible manner. Through these processes, we have managed to implement modest, targeted initiatives that will make the lives of islanders better. We have protected our investments in health care and education and ensured all islanders have the opportunity to succeed and thrive. Madam Speaker, the celebration of the 150th anniversary of the Charlottetown Conference promises to make the 2014 a great year to be an islander and a Canadian. It gives us the opportunity to look to our past and the remarkable contributions of Prince Edward Islanders, and at the same time, plan for a future full of more remarkable contributions. Madam Speaker, we look forward to a wonderful year. Thank you very much.